Reconciliation. There were meetings today at the White House with the president and some Republican senators, not on tariffs, but on this question of how quickly they can move reconciliation. There are many Republicans, including some in the administration, who are closeted, not fans of tariffs so much, who say what we really need to do is pass tax cuts, energy, deregulation, and all the things that will be in reconciliation to offset the negative effects of that. Natalie, where do you think things stand on that bill becoming a reality summer or early fall?
Well, they're still trying to figure out the funding of it all. I mean, even down to should we start selling off public land? So all of these things are being considered right now, and I don't think it could happen before fall. I think there's still a lot of disagreement on how exactly they're going to figure out reconciliation. But I think that the next couple weeks will be interesting. How we see some of these members who were holding their fire. They weren't going after Trump. They weren't criticizing the rumors of his tariff plan. Whether they speak up and say this isn't going to solve any problems here.
David, where do you think reconciliation stands?
I think that the president incorporating that into the last 5 minutes of the presser today with the gusto that he did, and really at this point being all in with significant political capital on one bill, as opposed to a sort of ambivalence about whether it was one versus two previously. I think there's a better chance that getting done. But again, he made the comment today, there'll be no cuts to Medicare, social, or Medicaid. And again, there's wiggle room, because if all he means is that they're going to reduce the growth of spending of Medicaid, then that will still give them the spending cuts necessary to get reconciliation done and have some degree of tax cuts left over. But the math is just very hard here. And so I still think the hard part that could have killed it early was the budget, and Speaker, with President's help, got that part done. Now reconciliation and a process that really does come to an end in May. There's still plenty of things that can go wrong, but it's still alive. It's still going. I was on Speaker Gingrich's podcast the other day, who, as you know, Mark, is a huge fan of you and two-way, and he is very confident that they will end up getting this done. My issue is not so much if they get budget reconciliation done or not in May, which is not a foregone conclusion, but I'll give it 50% odds. And I think that's what you're asking me. My issue is, what will it be? If they simply get a budget reconciliation bill done, and it does extend the Trump tax cuts, but it's 5 years, not permanent, that's fully priced in and then some. Markets are not going to like that. If there's no additional tax cuts, or the only additional tax cuts are this absurdity about deducting interest on auto loans for US-made cars, which will push prices higher. I mean, there's not a serious tax thing on top of extending the 2017 deal right now that I see. So I'm more concerned with the composition than a bill getting done.
I assume you don't think no tax on tips or Social Security or overtime are significant things?
Well, no tax on Social Security is not even close to being doable in budget reconciliation mathematically.
Yeah.
That's a massive cost that's just simply not going to make its way onto anybody's napkin.
Yeah.
No tax on tips can fit in, and it's probably the most important for the president politically.
Yeah.
Myself, as a supply sider, I don't find it to be a very compelling tax cut.
Yeah. I'm almost certain no tax on tips will be in there. It's not that big an item, and it's symbolically, as you said, so important.